major disclosure telling people that they shouldn't be ashamed about their financial situation.
Okay, it is your favorite author, Aseera. I know you guys are like, Aseera, you already uploaded 3 different videos today. Like, what are you doing? You never do this. But I am stitching a video for the very first time ever, so we'll see how this works. This video that I'm stitching is from Casanova Brown, and he's doing the Age of Disclosure Act. And basically, this gentleman is talking about what's going on in his life. You know what I'm saying? About what's going on in the world, what's going on with the economy. And I, for one, don't think that you have to, this is where empathy comes in, right? You don't have to be suffering personally with the exact thing, because we all suffer from something, right? Something's always going on. And we know this is social media. People try to make things look like what they are. That's why I don't even say too much. I'm a like move in silence type of person. Um, except like when I'm advocating for something. So I'll just take my liberty, author platform and coming from a place where I genuinely like to help people. Like that's just in me. Has it gotten my heart broken? Has it gotten me used? Yes, of course. You know what I'm saying? But it's just been instilled in me, through loving parents who helped the neighborhood. I had a free neighborhood pantry during the when they were talking about shutting off SNAP benefits, which they did for some people. The first federal government workers layoff, I had a free neighborhood pantry, which people were vandalizing, and I kept putting up. But the last time when they vandalized it, knocked it completely over, I'd never put it back up. But also being a healthcare worker and a small business owner, a mother, and just a human being with an actual heart. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who just cares for people. I um I can't like shut up about it. Yeah, that's why I wrote the book Preserved. I know y'all like, oh, this is a shameless plug. No, I'm just telling y'all that there are people who saw this coming, and we like legit we're talking about it. So here's the book, and I'm going to read y'all a little bit from it. Just to, and it's going to sync up with what Casanova is saying. So he has just found a job after months of looking for one. I think I want to say my first video of him from him I saw, it was November 2025. He had started looking for it. No, he was saying that he just found a job and he had been looking for one. If I'm not mistaken, go to his page because that's all just a couple days ago, and I've seen more of his videos today saying that he just found a job, but it's not going to cover his rent. He doesn't know what to do. He's got like some IRS stuff going on. And he wants everybody to talk about it, not just reshare his video, but talk about it. But he's right. Whether you're going through this personally, but especially if you're going through it personally, but even if you just have a heart and then talk about it. So this video that I stitched, this is video where he's talking about crime. Um, and I'm going to read a passage from really quickly from my book that I released late last year. Before, not before, but when I saw this happening. Of course, if I released it late last year, that meant I was writing it during the year, working on other projects. It only takes me about a week to write a book, but I have over 80 some books out. So, and now if I'm writing books, it's not just to pump them out. It's because it's something I'm really passionate about, and I'm going to take my time with it because I'm working on other projects for other people and businesses and things like that. So I'm going to read a little bit, and I'm going to tell y'all where this is headed if people don't open their mouths and get together and help each other. Chapter 13 of Preserved. Eddie walked Jessie along the edge of her backyard, sunlight spilling over the new privacy fence like a veil. The metal sheeting shimmered faintly behind the tall wooden slats. The material was Lowe's grade, but reinforced with custom brackets from his own shop. He pointed to the poles, which were thick, reinforced anchors drilled deep into the front and rear corners of the yard. Pointing, if things get wild, you pull that lever by the porch. Kevlar shades will drop over the entire fence line. Listen, babe, it's not bulletproof, but strong enough to stop a blade or a brick, he explained as he stood there, nodding and thoroughly impressed. The sexy grin enveloping her face was thanks enough for him. Now I'm going to skip over. It had been over 4 months since he and Jessie started dating. What began with fencing and flirtation quickly deepened into something substantial. She started growing tomatoes. He started staying for dinner. Jay had begun calling him Mr. Eddie in the tone reserved for semi-approved adults once Jessie felt comfortable enough to formally introduce him. He was no longer the man who was working on the house. He was now Mommy's special friend. The pair just agreed to grab dinner, an actual outing, when her mini-me rushed down the stairs, remote in hand. "Hi, Mr. Eddie. Mommy, look." the screen filled with images of tent cities. Dozens at first, as the camera panned. The view quickly turned to hundreds. News anchors reported overnight surges in homelessness. Parking lots full of cars turned into homes in the blink of an eye. A high school cafeteria converted into a temporary soup kitchen popped up on the screen. The next segment showed grocery stores donning empty shelves, hysterical voices, and cabbage priced at $15 a head. Eggs shot up to $16.50 per dozen. An 18 count package was now over $20. Yeah, we're headed there. Again, I released this book last year, and I've been saying you guys have to stock up and put money away. If you can, a little bit at a time, because it's 50 cents. But listen, Jay began to cry. How are people going to survive, Mom? They went out together, determined to cling to some scrap of normalcy while the world burned down around them. The flames seemed to be coming closer by the day. Waterside still held remnants of its charm, though many beloved restaurants were shuttered. Those open had downsized. The only offered limited seating paired with limited menus. The three settled on a seafood joint tucked beside the docks, which remained open because the fish were caught out back, filleted then cooked fresh. It was simple, delicious food. The company felt like a safe haven. As they stepped outside, a pair of men with one woman in tow loitered near the alley. Their clothes were tattered, eyes wary. Jay gripped Jay's hand instinctively. They began walking at a slightly brisker pace. The trio followed to them with each step. Jay turned abruptly, a trembling hand offering out her container of leftovers. One man snatched it, passed it to the woman, who opened it before beginning to shovel rice into her mouth like she hadn't eaten in days. It was likely the sad truth. Her mother followed suit, offering up her own leftovers next. Eddie was close behind, his hand out offering his own. Then came the change in their interaction. One of the men stepped forward, voice hoarse and hard. Now toss your wallet and bags on the ground. The food lasts the night. We've got kids in tents to keep alive. You look like you can spare some change. The desperation in his voice demanded compliance of them. Jessie reached for her over-the-shoulder crossbody bag, already digging for cash. No! Eddie spat out firmly, pulling her back. We spent what we had. That meal was our splurge before it gets worse. I wish we could do more. He pushed Jesse and Jay gently behind him for their protection. Okay, so that's in the book. And I referenced this because when I was listening to his video, I said, I don't think we understand if we stay quiet where this is headed. In real life, I'm a quiet person. I don't talk a lot. I was doing events. I stopped. It's a lot. Anxiety. I'm getting back into it. I've signed up for some events. Follow my page. But it's a lot. And I can't be quiet. And I'm watching his plight. And I'm watching other people's plights. And people might think I'm crazy. I mean, maybe I am. You know, I got plenty of medication that says so, whatever. I mean, that's not the politically correct word. But I just want to say, do not be quiet. Follow this young man. Make your videos. Say, hey, I can't afford my rent. I can't do this. Let's bombard our representatives, our senators, our Congress. These people are asleep on a job. They have to be woken up, or there are literally going to be tent cities. I live right in town center, like outside of a town center. There's stores aplenty. I can see in my creative author mind, this is where the book came from. I could see tents popping up, stores going out of business, people living in their cars, committing crimes. Who do you think they're going to be robbing? Not because they woke up, with their degrees hanging on their wall, or their, 20 years of work history and rental history, and decided to become criminals, but because they have to eat. They got to feed their children. They need somewhere to live. That's why I stitched this video. Follow Casanova Brown. Make your video. This is an age of disclosure. Talk about what's going on. Get together and do something about it to help yourself. And if you are not in this particular situation, do it to help somebody else. I mean, have a heart. Real talk.